Welcome to the Red Beard Embodiment Podcast. I am your host, Alex Greene, and I'm on a mission to bring the power of embodiment to people all around the world. In this podcast, we explore how embodiment practices, trauma healing, and knowledge about the human nervous system can help us find our ground, discover new sources of meaning, and create connection in an ever-changing world. The deepest change is embodied change. Hi, I'm really excited to be launching the Red Beard Embodiment Podcast, and I wanted to share with you today a little bit about what that project is about and what you can expect in terms of the interviews and podcasts that we'll be coming out with. Just to share a little bit about myself, I'm the founder of Red Beard Somatic Therapy, and my own sort of deep dive into embodiment began in my early 20s, first through Zen meditation and martial arts training, but then getting exposed to structural integration body work. These things together combine to show me that so much of our experience of who we are as humans can be sort of investigated and explored through the lens of what's happening at the level of our embodiment, which to me means our muscles, our bones, our emotional system, our nervous system. So these are the things that I want to bring out in the explorations that we do in this podcast. It's going to be very wide-ranging. On the one hand, I want to include conversations around a lot of the therapeutic modalities that I use in my practice and that I love so much. So some of those are somatic experiencing trauma work, internal family systems model work for looking at the psyche and emotional work, DARE, developmental trauma work, NARM, also developmental trauma work, TRE, tension and trauma releasing exercises, Feldenkrais movement work, Hanna somatics movement work, and then some of the manual therapies that I use in my work and that we use in our practice here at Red Beard. Things like structural integration body work, Zen integration body work, which is my system that I've developed, myofascial release, zero balancing, visceral manipulation, craniosacral therapy. If that long list of modalities, there's probably some I've forgotten, brain spotting, and I'm already thinking of that one. But so my curiosity is to have some conversations with practitioners, teachers, maybe even some people who have experienced this kind of work, and share some of the stories of how these modalities can help us understand ourselves and help us develop as people. Not only in the realm of therapeutic work, I tend to be a little bit wide-ranging, so I want to have conversations with people who find embodiment through creative expression. That could include dance, art, writing, other ways of looking at embodiment. For me, embodiment includes certainly this physical structure of our muscles, our bones, our connective tissue, but it's our neurology, it's our nervous system, it's our mind, it's our emotional system in addition, and it's very much our senses as well. How do we relate to the world visually, through touch, through taste, through intuition? So these are the things that we'll be exploring with a whole variety of guests that I'm really looking forward to doing. Lastly, I want to touch on my own roots in Zen. There'll be definitely some conversations that with some of my colleagues, teachers, mentors in the Zen world, but even looking at the question of finding meaning through spirituality in other traditions as well, and what's the role of the body in those explorations. So that's just a preview of the ground that I hope to cover, and I hope that you will follow along for the ride. Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Red Beard Embodiment Podcast. To learn more, visit us at redbeardsomatictherapy.com or send me an email at alex@redbeardsomatictherapy.com. If today's conversation resonated with you, help spread the word by subscribing and sharing with others. Hope to see you next time.